Hey friends, this is Stephanie with Lady Prepared. Welcome back today. I hope you all are doing well and you are well cared for. As many of you know, I've recently started a YouTube channel. The primary reason for starting this is because I needed a venue that I could make videos that I could share with people that I've already been working with in regards to home preparation and food storage and budget cooking and all of that good stuff. I started slowly with the channel, focusing mostly on healthy eating, showing recipes, doing a lot of shorts, just to kind of get my feet wet with being on YouTube. And I have held back on really diving into what I'm passionate about, and that is helping people get their homes prepared. So today we are going to start with the topic of food storage. And I absolutely know there are so many videos out there about food storage. I get that. But I have learned in working with so many people that there are a few restraints that prevent people from really being able to take on food storage in their home. And if one of those restraints is the feeling that your budget cannot help in creating food storage because the prices of groceries are just absolutely insane, if that's you, then please stick around, because I'm going to give you an option today of keeping a small budget as well as building your food storage. Before we get to the challenge though, I do want to start with kind of going over the whys. So why do we need food storage, right? If you're here, you probably have a good idea why we need food storage. And you might be looking for just another take, another opportunity to refreshen the knowledge you have. Some people though, I think are coming on to the stage new, and they just need some reinforcement about why we do this. The first reason I would give is we have food storage because we expect the unexpected. I think in a world where we continue to see the effects of fire and flooding, job loss, wars, rumors of wars, and just a mirage of other events take place, I don't know that any one of us can safely say that that can never be us. Regardless of what the situation is, it can never be us. So having food storage in our home is a way that we can help prepare to expect the unexpected. Secondly, I do feel like having food storage is about helping others in need. I've heard two takes on this. I've heard people say people can help themselves if it came down to it. I help me and mine. And to a certain point, I do believe that. However, my eyes were really, really open in working with people, and also in hearing people from North Carolina and Tennessee and Florida and some of the other areas that were just super, super affected. And hearing people talk on their YouTube channels, I heard more than one prepper state that they had always had that opinion of I would only help my own. But when the situation came where they had a community crisis, they were doing everything they could to help each other. I don't know about you, but my street is filled with children. Should their parents be preparing? Yeah. But am I going to punish a child if something happened and I saw kids starving on my street? Absolutely not. I don't have that in me to do that. So by preparing food, preparing to help others, that gives me a sense of comfort as well, because at the end of the day, I have my Heavenly Father to answer to, and He would not want me allowing a child to starve. That's just the way it is. And we can have different opinions on that, but that's my number two. Third, we also need to be able to help ourselves. When we're in need, we need to be able to help ourselves. So we are not out there putting ourselves in a dangerous situation to try to get scraps when there's lots of hands that are out. We need to be self-sufficient. That's the bottom line. And sometimes it's not even just about a serious major world crisis or a local community catastrophe. Sometimes, like this past week when I wasn't feeling really good and I was super tempted to go out and buy junk because I didn't want to cook, I was able to come home and open up some jars of beef stew that I had already canned. So, you know, whether it is home canning or preserving food by freezing it or drying it, having that extra there for when we need it, it sure is helpful. It makes our own lives a lot easier, and it makes our family's life a lot easier because we don't want to be in crisis mode when we don't have to be, right? And lastly, I would just say too that for me, having my food storage, that gives me a sense of comfort. I don't think our food chain supply is necessarily the most stable, and I don't think that it's going to be the most stable in the future as well. So having what I need now may prevent issues down the road. I don't feel like having food storage should solely be the luxury of people who can afford it. I feel like being able to have something set back should be able to be a goal, an accomplishment for everybody. So that's primarily what we're going to be talking about today. As I mentioned before, I've worked with a lot of different community members regarding food storage, food preparation, canning, water bath canning, pressure canning, freeze drying, dehydrating, freezing, meals in a bag, like all of that good stuff. But one of the biggest areas that people have needed the most help with have been about food storage. Not just getting started necessarily, but also to overcome the barriers that come with trying to have food storage in your home. There's two barriers that have been very prevalent among a lot of people, and those barriers I want to talk about really quickly. I would say the first barrier is storage. Storage, that is a super tough one because we only have the space we have, right? If you live in a smaller area or you have a home that has a lot of stuff in it, finding the space can be a real issue. This is such a barrier that we're actually going to dedicate a whole nother video to it. But all I can say right now in a short amount of time is things that you can temporarily do is honestly and truly trying to find a small space that you can reorganize. Is that a corner of a closet? Is it the top of a shelf? Is it underneath your bed? Where can you find a small space that a Tupperware can go with some food storage in it? Please look and see. Again, we're going to go into depth with this in a whole separate video, but I want to make sure that we address that. And the reality is that's a true barrier that people have. And secondly, the other barrier that is probably the number one barrier at this time is budget. Lots and lots of people are getting on the prepping board right now, and it's really hard because I don't know if you've noticed, but the cost of groceries are insane, absolutely insane. And adding any additional items to your cart may be just devastating to your food budget. And I completely understand that, and I honor that. It's not easy. It is absolutely not easy. So when I roll this challenge out, I would say I want you to do the best you can. Take it slow, and don't come down on yourself on what you can't do. Focus on what you can do. So you heard me mention that I have a challenge. right? We've talked about the whys, we've talked about the barriers. Now let's talk about the challenge. I am going to give you a 16-week, $5 budget to help build your food pantry, okay? So this is for your food storage. Every week for the next 16 weeks, I am going to give you a specific food item or items that will average about $5, so you can help build your food storage. I think that this will be really doable for some of you because it's helped with people that I've been working with in the community. And if $5 is too much, that's totally okay. Pick one item if you can and get it that week. It may take longer than 16 weeks, but at the end of those 16 weeks, you will get to have 1 month worth of recommended food storage. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the challenge itself. According to the website for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, there are specific recommendations that they give on how much food one adult should have in a year. So according to their suggested portion recommendations, one adult should have the following for a year: 400 pounds of grain, and grain can be wheat, flour, rice, corn, oatmeal, or pasta. They should also have 60 pounds or 181 kilograms of legumes, and legumes are dried beans, split peas, lentils, etc. We should also have 16 pounds or 27 kilograms of dried milk. We should also have 10 quarts or 9 liters of cooking oil. And this is really important to understand this. If you're going to store cooking oil, you need to make sure you have it on a rotate in, rotate out status. We do not want our oil to go to waste because we've left it in storage. So use it, get more, keep a good rotation system going with that. Next, we have 60 pounds or 27 kilograms of sugar or honey. Either or is just fine, okay? 8 pounds or 3.6 kilograms of salt, and 2 weeks of, or 14 gallons or 53 liters of water, okay? So how I figured out our challenges is I took all of those totals and I divided it by 12. If there was a remainder, I rounded up, so then we would have more rather than less. The only exception is I did not mess with the numbers of water, because water is the most forgotten food storage in my experience in working with people. Okay, so in our challenge, we will have all 14 gallons of water because we need it. Are you ready for our first item for this week? I'm so excited to tell you. All right, so this week we're going to be spending $5.36. In my state, we do not have food tax, okay? So if you have a food tax in your state where you are living, feel free to adjust the level if you need to of the item, okay? So for example, this week we are getting 3 Walmart plain salt containers, okay, and 3 iodized salt. If you get the Great Value brand of salt, those are 67 cents each, okay, 67 cents. So for all 6 containers, we have, it comes to $5.36 before tax. If you need to adjust that, you choose 1 container of salt to take out, so you'll end up with 5 rather than 6. Does that make sense? So with that said, that is our first week. I'm so excited. 6 salts from Walmart, the Great Value brand. Okay, 67 cents each. 3 plain, 3 iodized. And next week I'll be making a new video with week 2 in there, and I'm super excited about that one. I don't know why, but I just love food storage, and I love helping people with food storage. So I'm excited. Yay. Anyways, thank you so much. I hope that this was of some value to you. I would love to start to get to know my community. So please don't be shy about leaving comments, because I want to know who you are, and I want to know where you're at in your food preparation and your food storage. So anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day. I look forward to talking to you soon, and God bless. Take care.